And we are live. Hello, happy Monday. The draw is out. Very interesting. We've got round 16 Champions League, round 32 Europa League, and very interesting stuff. I'm pulling the big guns here. We've got Martin, Alex from Need for Tips. Both have written articles on the draws on our respective sites. Their Sportsbook Review, Odds Market as well. So these boys know their stuff. I'm going to start off with Europa League. We'll move on to Champions League. They will also be cut as well, clipped onto a Sportsbook Review. But first of all, Martin, how was your weekend?
It was good up until Sunday when Arsenal ruined it by conceding 3 goals to the worst team in the Premier League and somehow contriving to lose to Southampton. But apart from that, very good, thanks. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Had a nice weekend at the beach. Yes, I know. We spoke about that, and it was kind of like, is it a trap? Why are the odds so good? We all took it. I think that we had to have taken it, and at the price. But listen, I know how you feel because Manchester United didn't fare much better than that. So, yeah, the sneaky Saints, hey? I'm sure Flash was very happy. What about you, Alex? How are you doing?
Yeah, I had a great weekend also on Twitter, also on the Best Bet show. Very disappointed also for Arsenal. I was watching the match, but very happy for Liverpool on the other side.
Yes.
Arsenal just needs, if I think that Martin agrees here, just needs 2 strong defenders, and that's it. 2 strong central defenders, and I think they are okay with that. Liverpool, amazing game against a pretty bad Mourinho side, Manchester United. I was talking with Freddie asked me before we were filming if he was reading some news that Mourinho was sacked, but he wasn't. The news was saying that Zinedine Zidane will replace him if they will sack him. So he will love the job at Manchester United. So hopefully for Manchester United fans, Mourinho will be sacked and Zinedine Zidane will join.
Let's wait and see. All right, so going to start off with the round of 32 with Europa League here. And I was reading, obviously, we have a Team Bankroll Skype chat that we like to talk about, that we chat on, us boys and girl. And the couple of the ones, obviously, Arsenal. Arsenal seem a reasonable draw, heading over to Bate Borisov. Chelsea heading over to Malmo there. Chelsea, obviously, the favourites, followed by Arsenal, second favourites to win the tournament there. Possibly England bringing it home. Do you think England will bring home the Europa League Cup, Martin?
Absolutely, yeah. I'd say Chelsea.
Coming home. It's coming home.
Well, Chelsea is coming. It's definitely coming home. Chelsea are the favourites, and Arsenal are the second favourites. So, yeah, I can't look past England really. I'd say the one team that might be able to stop them is Napoli, but I really don't think they're quite in the same class. I think they're good going forwards, but they're still missing a couple of players. Could well be a Chelsea and Arsenal final if they're kept apart.
Ooh.
Last season, which would be an amazing game. Last season, Atletico Madrid finished third in their Champions League group and dropped down to this competition. And lo and behold, they went on to win it. But we haven't had the same caliber of teams finishing third in the Champions League groups this time around. Best teams that dropped down are Napoli and Inter Milan. And I just think the Premiership is a lot better than Serie A at the moment. So I would fancy Chelsea or Arsenal to just about take them. So I think England win it.
Yeah. There's often sort of serious, who takes the competition more seriously. Do you think Arsenal, well, it both really, don't they? Chelsea and Arsenal like Europa League.
Yeah, Chelsea have won it before, but it's difficult with them because they change managers quite frequently. Arsenal obviously went to the semi-final last year, and Arsenal's manager Unai Emery won this competition 3 years in a row with Sevilla, which I think shows just how seriously he takes it and the sort of pedigree that he's got in this competition. And players like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and on Alexandre Lacazette have thrived in the competition before. So I think they should have enough firepower to get through to the latter stages of the tournament. And by that point, yeah, you're going to take it pretty seriously.
Yeah, totally. What's your thoughts, Alex? Do you think it is literally a toss between Chelsea, Arsenal? Top four favourites: Chelsea 5.5, Arsenal 7, Napoli 8, and Inter 12.
I would take Sevilla also at 15. Bet365 offers 15 for Sevilla. Huge experience in this competition. Yes, they won with Unai Emery, but still they have a great team right now. It's important to know the transfers in the January transfer window. But let me tell you one thing. If they bring players who already played in Europa League or in Champions League, they are not allowed to play anymore for the second club in the same competition in the same season, you know. So that is out of question. But Chelsea and Arsenal are priced so high right now because the draws for them are very easy with Bate Borisov and with Malmö.
Yeah.
On the other side, Sevilla are playing Lazio in this one. Inter are playing Rapid Vienna. Rapid Vienna, not necessarily a strong side, but still a decent side in the second-tier European leagues there. Shakhtar Donetsk is a very interesting option, in my opinion. A strong side for Shakhtar Donetsk. They are now priced at 41. I think that it worth a couple of bucks there, because at 41 for a dark horse is great. Shakhtar Donetsk, incredible matches in Champions League. I'm very unhappy because they are not through the round of 16 in Champions League. But I think that Europa League, they have great European experience as well in Europa League. And don't forget Napoli at 8. Napoli, great Champions League group stage performance. Very poor last match against Liverpool, but they just lost 1-0, and they missed a huge opportunity in the last minute of the game. They could qualify in the round of 16. So it's interesting. Europa League always is unpredictable till quarterfinals. Let's say.
I know, and that's why I leave it to you and Big Man to predict. It is tough, and you know, there's even sort of teams like, as we saw in the Champions League, like Club Bruges. Obviously, like just looking as well at the outrights even now. Obviously commencing 12th of February there, so a little while to go. Do you see any of these prices dropping ahead of time, obviously as money starts to move onto these matches?
No, not really. I think they're going to pretty much stay the same as they are, unless any team suffers huge injury problems. I don't think the odds will really change too much until they get through to the next round and we see which teams are drawn against who. Bate Borisov were the rank outsiders to win this competition before they were drawn against Arsenal, and now they're 1,000 to 1. So it hasn't really shifted Arsenal's price too much, and Chelsea are about the same price they were before the draw was made as well. I think the big teams are expected to get through. The only teams that got put together that are of a decent standard, like Alex said, Sevilla and Lazio. So it'll be interesting to see who prevails in that one. I think whoever gets through that we'll see their odds drop considerably. It probably will be Sevilla, but Lazio have a couple of good players in Milinkovic, Savic and Ciro Immobile up front, so that looks like a really good game. I'm looking forward to that one. But all the other big teams should surge through. So no, I think we can pretty much leave this video up in a prominent position until the big games.
Well, I kind of meant the matches, but I think, though, for example, like you sort of said, the Lazio versus Sevilla, I think that the team who wins that matchup, I think, you know, if it is, for example, Sevilla, I think you'll see their odds drop. So if you are playing outright, I really like that suggestion, Alex, of yours, Sevilla as that dark horse. But no, I mean on some of the matches themselves, starting on the 12th. For example, even you can get get Valencia at Celtic 2.15 right now. Arsenal, it's low. It's at 1.54. But that, I can imagine, is going to seriously drop. Galatasaray as well at home, hosting Benfica, 2.83. Chelsea, 1.38. There was another one as well. Inter Milan, 1.65. Not bad. I reckon that they will drop.
No, I think some people will be interested in like Arsenal, Chelsea, Napoli, Inter fourfold or trebles within that. You've got some pretty good prices if you're looking for accumulators there.
Yeah.
It is a bit difficult in this competition because you can afford to draw the away leg and then win at home. But I think seeing as it's the first leg, these teams will take it relatively seriously and send out a decent team. So I think you should see some good away wins in this round. Yeah, like you say, the price might change a little bit if punters lump on some of these teams. Perhaps they'll even watch this video and be inspired to bet on some of the teams, and we can change the prices because we're that powerful. But you mentioned Valencia away at Celtic, which I think looks a very good price. Celtic are a decent team, but then they always seem to struggle when they're up against the real big teams of Europe. So you can better than double your money on a Valencia win at Celtic Park, which looks pretty interesting to me. Yeah. And if people bet on that sort of thing, I can imagine the price changing, but I don't think they'll shift around too much.
Yeah, just seeing as well to qualify, because obviously sometimes, like for example, like Celtic can be a tough place to visit, but over the two legs, Valencia should really emerge victorious from that one. I'm just going to see if they've got them to qualify, which is obviously quite a nice. Yes, they do to qualify. What is Valencia? 1.2. Of course it is. There we go. So they are expecting that tough.
I have some great values from the first leg matches. For example, I have now that I did some research before the video. Salzburg to win away at Club Brugge at 2.5. Leverkusen to win away at Krasnodar at 2.45. Olympiacos to win at home against Dynamo Kiev at 2.21. Dinamo Zagreb to win away at Plzeň at 3.14. So Shakhtar to win at home at 2.25 against Eintracht Frankfurt. Many value bets on teams that normally we don't bet, you know. But we do them because I'm doing Europa League every week, every round with a big man, and we know them very well.
Yes,
it's interesting. You look. The top seeded team is playing away from home in the first leg in every game. So the teams that won their group and the four best third place teams from the Champions League have all got the first leg away, second leg at home, because it's an advantage to play the second leg at home. So in the first round of fixtures, you will see decent value on the better teams on the road. So choose a few of the away teams that you really like the look of. And I'd suggest combining them in accumulator, or like Alex said, there's some good value on the outrights. Otherwise, look at the close ties and try and think of a team to qualify. Like I would say Benfica to qualify against Galatasaray. Looks like money in the bank to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those, looking for that sort of to qualify value. Alex, anything more you want to add on the Europa League? You are really our Team Bankroll's Europa League specialist here.
We should see an interesting match against between Fenerbahce and Zenit St. Petersburg. I think that home wins in both legs should be a tight, really tight double leg there. What else? Galatasaray and Benfica, as Martin said, I'm seeing Benfica with draw no bet. Galatasaray very poor season this term. I see Sevilla moving on against Lazio, but it will happen in the second leg because Lazio at home, as Martin specified, with that attacking side, they will put many problems to Sevilla. So probably Sevilla will wait for the second game. Real Betis again. I think that they will qualify further. They're tied there with Rennes. Also an interesting away win in the first match. Real Betis to win away in France against Rennes. And that's about it. Sporting Villarreal, again, an interesting match. But we will we will discuss more about these matches in the week of the games. But I don't think that the odds will change a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe also as well, just after Christmas, well, after New Year, maybe we'll see as well if we can do sort of what Martin was talking about, some interesting sort of like parlay bets, even sort of like to qualify parlay betting or something like that. Could be some nice little value in that one. All right, moving over to the round of 16 of the Champions League, and obviously a few teams. Man City, for example, one of them. Man City, obviously the favourites to win here, 4.05. Liverpool, who are really hot this season, top of the Premier League. They are not in the top four, but obviously they've been pitted against Bayern Munich. So obviously start with Man City. They're the favourites there, priced 4.05. Man City can sometimes stumble. I know they're incredibly good against Schalke. I fully expect them to qualify, but to win and the price of 4.05, would you put your money on that, Martin?
No, I think those odds look a bit short. They have been short throughout the whole season, to be honest. They were the heavy favourites to win this competition even before they got a comfortable draw against Schalke. I mean, they have been a phenomenal team in the Premiership, but as we know, that doesn't always translate to European success. But I would say that they struggled in the Premiership in their first season under Guardiola, and then they just destroyed everyone in the second season. Whereas they struggled Champions League a bit last season. It might be another case where they just come out and destroy everyone again. They have got just a wealth of amazing midfielders and attacking players. I think they deserve to be the favourites, especially when you look at the draw that they've got against Schalke, who are now 250 to 1. Got a very good draw there.
Yes.
But still, I wouldn't bet on them at those short odds, just because I think they do have a few problems defensively that could go against them in this competition.
Yeah, I definitely. Man City, Barcelona, and Real Madrid have, I think, got amazing draws. Do you agree there, Alex? And is there another draw that you would add to that list?
I don't think that Real Madrid has an easy draw against Ajax. Ajax, a great side, a young side with adding some experienced players there. Very, very great, a very, very good team, both defending and attacking. Yes, you will say 3-3 against Bayern Munich, but that was the last game of the match. But they were very determined to win it and to take the first spot. They didn't, but they moved on. I would say that Real Madrid will have some issues there. It's a competition between right now 3 English sides who will take on 3 German sides in the last 16. So we have Tottenham versus Dortmund, Liverpool versus Bayern Munich, and Schalke versus Manchester City. So I think that English sides will have 2-1 after this. Will beat German sides 2-1. I am seeing Borussia Dortmund taking care of Tottenham there, but it's an interesting tie draw. Manchester City, the easiest match, a huge reward for them winning the group and avoiding important teams from the first place in other groups. Schalke finished runners up in a very easy group with Porto in the first place. So shouldn't be a lot of trouble for Manchester City. Maybe on the road, but I don't think so. I think that City should be able to win both legs with all of their players coming back from injuries and being 100% fit till the hour of the match in February. Let's hope that nobody will get injured from any important team in Europe.
Yeah, and I have to say, people totally agreeing with you as well, William Apono. Ajax all the way, but Real Madrid will be a hard nut to crack. Now, obviously, Dortmund have been another sort of stellar team this season. They go to Wembley, they're Tottenham for the first round. Martin, do you think that Tottenham will be a tough nut to crack, or is this going to be... Would you put your money basically on Dortmund to qualify?
No, I would not put my money on Dortmund to qualify. I think they're both two very good teams. As I've said on our best
Mm.
bets video, Dortmund are my favourite team to watch in Europe this season. They've been playing some fantastic attacking football. But I wouldn't bet against Tottenham at the moment. I think they've been grinding out results in really good fashion. They struggled at the start of their Champions League group, but then they bounced back, beat Inter, got the draw they needed away at Barcelona.
Yeah.
Don't really like the idea of betting against them when
Yeah.
they've got players like Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen. I think it's 50-50 for me, this one. And I would bet on Dortmund if I didn't think that they might prioritise the Bundesliga, because I don't know
Ah.
if they've got the squad to go for both competitions. It would be huge for them to hold off Bayern Munich and go on and win the Bundesliga, but they might have to sacrifice that if they want a real run deep into the Champions League. So I think they might have a choice of going for one or the other, and that could play into Tottenham's hands, because by February, Tottenham might be a little bit further behind in the title race and really go for this one. So maybe I'll see how both teams are doing by February, I think.
Interesting. What do you think about that, Alex?
It's another thing. It's important to know that Bundesliga have a bigger winter break, meaning that this weekend is the last round. There are 2 weeks. In the midweek is one round, and at the end of this week is another round. And after that, till 18th of January, is the winter break in Germany. And in Premier League, we don't have that, right? Maybe 1 week, but they are playing also the FA Cup, other matches, and so on. So we know that the English teams are playing the most matches in the entire top 5.
No, I know we've got a
European
few double
leagues.
weeks. Few double weeks this Christmas. I'll be eating
Exactly,
my
plus
turkey
double
and filming
weeks,
the
plus
Premier League
everything.
Punter show.
Exactly. So it's important how fit the two teams will be. Now, someone will say that yeah, but Tottenham will play and they will have matches going on, and that's a good thing. On the other side, you will say that Dortmund will have 3 weeks of break and they will regain their batteries, but it's really important how much the difference on points it will be between Dortmund and Bayern Munich. Now they are 9 points. They will try to enter the winter break with 9 points. They have 2 matches, tough ones, both of them. They have away at Düsseldorf, who are desperate to win points. Last place in the standings there. Not exactly last place, but there. And fighting relegation, and home with Mönchengladbach. I think that 1.83 to qualify for both sides doesn't is not okay. I think that we should wait and play the matches how they are. I'm expecting both games to be high scoring affairs.
I was just going to say that as well. Goals, I think, on the cards. I think that's sort of the direction that you can go for. Another one, actually, if you're sticking on the theme of goals, Roma-Porto. I think that could be a high scoring affair across both legs. Do you agree with that, Alex?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think that many matches will be high-scoring affairs in the round of 16, because we have so many great attacking sides there. Not Atletico versus Juventus, but maybe
that's what I was going to say as well. Yeah, that would be one. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Atletico Juventus. That is definitely a key matchup there. Liverpool, Bayern, I think those, well, and Tottenham, Dortmund as well. But let's go with Atletico Madrid, Juventus. 2 stellar defenses, and obviously Juventus improving their attack this season. Can you call the one to qualify from that match, Alex?
Yes, I can call the one to qualify, and but the odds are very low for Juventus to qualify at 1.57. I think that Ronaldo is the key to this match. I think that he's the player to make the difference. I think it's very important that Juventus are playing the second match on their turf and not in Spain. I think that they will keep it tight in the first match and avoid conceding goals. Under 2.5 goals we don't have. We have under total goals under over. Yeah, under 2.5 goals in the first match. 1.67. Come on, you must be joking here.
That's my bet.
Yeah, we don't like that. So maybe for a draw, I would go also for a draw in this one. Why not? I think that a draw at 3.25, I think that it has plenty of value.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, we saw it was funny because in my office, it's mainly US sports, and everybody came running up to me about the huge Real Madrid loss, and again Juventus against Young Boys. Now, obviously, they had qualified, and I was sort of saying, it's not so much of a shock. Maybe the fact that they didn't even score maybe is a bit more of a shock. But you know, things like Juventus losing to Young Boys. Do you think that will play in their mind? Oh, there's just too much time that will have passed from that. This is the next stage. They're moving on, and it's a new challenge.
No, I don't think that will play on their mind at all. They were already qualified. They didn't need to win. They rested players. Wouldn't factor in, I don't think.
You still just would have thought, wouldn't you, that they'd have beaten Young Boys? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Killed
but
a few people's Zackers, I tell you. I had a ton of messages like Juventus and the crying emoji, and it was just like, and I'm like, I know. Luckily, I didn't play. Luckily, I didn't play Real Madrid only because I just really couldn't find any value. Otherwise, I'd have played something. Thank goodness.
No, you should just. Don't bet on a team that doesn't need to win. Don't bet on a team that's already qualified. It's just there's no motivation for them to win whatsoever. Yeah. It was like we were just saying with Barcelona. They didn't need to play Tottenham, so they rested all their best players, and Tottenham sneaked the draw against Barcelona's C team and got through. Just leave them alone. But they'll be ready and well up for this by the time it comes around. Juventus should be ridiculously far ahead in the Serie A title race by then as well, and they can put all their efforts into this tie.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely come January get together, see where everyone's positioned on the table and things like that, and have a look, and especially of how the odds have changed as well. Speaking languages,
I think. Sorry, Natalie. I think that 1000% Martin is right there. Juventus till that time, they will be maybe 15 points clear at the top of the table. They are beating everyone in Serie A. Maybe I think that they dropped just points just in one match, if I remember correct. But I think that this is what they're doing now. Go. And after that, focus on Champions League and leave Serie A aside. Of course, they will not leave Serie A aside because they will not meet Atletico Madrid every week in Serie A. They have maybe 4 or 5 teams that they are going 100% to compete with them. Napoli, Inter, AC Roma, Atalanta, and... Lazio, for example, but after that they have Spal, they have Cagliari. Of course, they will beat everyone. So they will not, if they go 15 points clear at the top of the table till the start of the knockout stages in Champions League. I don't think that they will lose 15 points till the end of the season in Serie A, despite focusing on Champions League. And I think that they are priced correctly at 7.5 because of the draw.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, Liverpool versus Bayern Munich, and Longbow here is saying Juve, Bayern, City, PSG, Barca, Dortmund, Real are my tips. I don't think it's as cut and dry. I think Liverpool are going to give this a real good shot here. They're not obviously in the top 4 favourites because they're against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, obviously, they've got the title race if they're in it. But I don't know. Could Liverpool win, Martin?
Very much so for me, yeah. I think Liverpool have been brilliant this season. They haven't lost a single game in the Premiership. We already knew they had a stellar attack with Salah, Firmino and Mane. And they've gone out and bought Alisson, who's a good goalkeeper. They're a lot more solid at the back this season with Van Dijk in the middle. They've only conceded 7 Premiership goals in 17 games. Whereas Bayern Munich are floundering in Bundesliga. They're already, I think, 9 points behind Borussia Dortmund, who they lost to. They've still got an exceptional midfield, Bayern Munich, and Lewandowski can still turn it on, but I think they're creaking a little bit at the back. And Jurgen Klopp knows this team very well. He was a bit of a thorn in their side during his time at Dortmund.
Yeah.
I think he'll relish the opportunity to take the game to them and knock them out of Europe. I think Liverpool can do it. I'll bet on them to win the first round, to win the first leg. I think they can claim this scalp here. Yeah, I'm going for Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, David saying Bayern having a down year. Where did I read the comment? It just moved, but it said, I think it was something about Liverpool to qualify, says speaking languages. Oh, Sean Mack, Bayern will have their stuff sorted by the time that this tie comes around. This is the tie that might see penalties. What do you think, Alex?
Do you think that it's so easy to integrate a player from January till February inside the team? I don't think so. So I think that Bayern will make some transfers in the January transfer window. Again, I repeat, even if they take star players, I don't know, let's say that they will take Neymar, for example, which will not happen, but I'm just giving an example. He cannot play against Liverpool because he already played with PSG in Champions League, so he cannot play for a second team same season in Champions League. So I don't think that Bayern will have their problems fixed till February. We might see a new coach for Bayern Munich till February. Niko Kovac might be sacked till that time, but I think that Mourinho will get sacked first. Liverpool will be without Virgil van Dijk in the first leg at home against Bayern Munich. And it's more important that Bayern Munich will play the second leg on their turf.
Yeah.
I wish Liverpool will move on because I'm a fan of Liverpool and I'm a fan of Dortmund. I love attacking football. I love exciting matches. I love this. I love real football. And Bayern this season are very disappointing, very, very disappointing. So I cannot see nothing else than Liverpool with their fighting spirit to move on. And most of all, Klopp, you know that he was coaching Dortmund a few years ago, and he played many matches against Bayern Munich. He knows them. He knows their philosophy. He knows what to expect. Of course, now that they have a new coach, but he knows very, very good the players there. So I'm expecting Liverpool to move on.
Yeah. I tell you one thing, though, just looking at the comments and things, Leo Mack, I worry Liverpool are all in to win the Premier League this season. This might be a distraction. Longbow, I think Bayern's current squad is strong enough to beat Liverpool. They have exceptional mentality and experience. But others thinking that Liverpool will win. So definitely a lot of people here on both sides of the fence. Interesting stuff. I tell you, though, obviously, there's other markets as well, rather than just who's going to win. For example, nationality of the winner being England, 2.62. I'm not as confident as football is coming home, Martin, as I am with the Europa League. I don't know. Are you as confident? Are you going to bet the price of 2.62 that we're going to bring home both the Europa League trophy and the Champions League trophy?
No, I don't think so, I'm afraid. I normally like this market because you can bet on Spain and you get Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. It's an amazing bet. It's come in for the last 4 years. And they are 2.25 this time around. But I don't think I'm going to bet on Spain either, just because Atletico have drawn against Juventus, which is very difficult. Real Madrid are a shadow of their former selves, and Barcelona haven't made it past the quarterfinals recently. I think it's an interesting bet. I can see why people would take it because you get Liverpool,
a few countries in one bet. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a few teams. You get Tottenham or a dark horse. You're basically, I think if you're doing that, you're basically betting on Man City and Liverpool. You're not really thinking much about Man United in that. And I don't think Tottenham will win the Champions League either. So I'm going to avoid that market, I think, and just look at who's going to actually win it, because I don't think there's the value in that market that you sometimes got in previous seasons, unfortunately.
And let's go to the previous discussion from the previous weeks about the money from the Premier League and about the money from the Champions League. We know that the Premier League champions will get a lot more than the Champions League winners. also second place in the Premier League. I think that they are winning more than the Champions League winners. So Liverpool and Manchester City. Let me say that they have 5% more. They want 5% more to win the Premier League than to win Champions League. Exactly like you said 5 minutes ago, Natalie. It's important how these teams will sit before the Champions League matches. What will be the difference of points in their domestic leagues? But again, Bayern Munich are 9 points behind Dortmund, so they will clearly try to close that gap on the leaders. On the other side, Liverpool and Manchester City go head to head there till the end of the season. Maybe many surprises will happen now in the Christmas time, but I don't expect many of them. But it's really important to see them before the first leg and to talk about it more.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll leave it at that. But Anne S., Juve or Barca are favourites, I reckon, especially as well when you're talking about their sort of priorities to their league. Where do their priorities lie? You've got Juventus, who is so clear up front. They're just like, we got this one. Now let's focus. And that's really a strong argument to look at that sort of like lovely, juicy Juventus price at 1.75. But yes, very interesting indeed. And like you said, there's quite a bit of time between now, which teams, Premier League, obviously, there's a lot of matches. And then you've got the Bundesliga, obviously, that have got more of a break. So a lot of things to consider in the lineups. But I tell you what, it is very exciting stuff indeed.
What about Manchester United, Natalie? you didn't mention nothing about them.
Well, actually, I think Anes said it quite right at the beginning. Can't believe PSG is priced 2.2. Is it 2.2 at Manchester United?
2.15, yes.
2.15. Completely agree with you there, Anes.
Mbappe, Neymar, Cavani up against Bailly, Smalling and Jones. What a matchup that's going to be.
Young,
Smalling and Jones.
And maybe Young also.
I think Manchester United need to focus on the domestic league right now.
There's a lot of value in match betting. PSG, just the straight PSG win looks like a great bet.
Yeah, no, exactly. What are they to qualify?
Oh, they'll be minuscule.
I'm just pulling it up right now.
But just to win, to win away.
PSG 1.29 to qualify against Manchester United. Yes, but
1.3.
hey, listen, Mourinho could be out, and it could be a different team that we're looking at. So might be a good idea to hold off on that bet. You never know.
Hold your horses.
All right, so who's going to win the Champions League? You have to say one team before we
Juventus.
I'm going Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Oh, that's a good one. Barcelona. Juventus. All right,
so
there we go.
2 on Barcelona and 1 on Juventus.
Yeah. All right, there we go, guys. That's just a wrap up. Hope you enjoyed our draw chat here. Wednesday back, Premier League Punters show. Thursday, Best Bet show. And hope to see you guys there, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Martin. And to all you wonderful people watching. Speak to you soon.